Hi everyone, so I'm doing my wine midterm on the sherry wine. I just found it very intriguing, and this is a wine that I have never tasted before, so I was very curious to try it, and it's also retailed as a dessert wine, which I found intriguing, so yeah, let's get into it. Just a general overview of this wine. Its historical name is Herith Sherry, and its more modern and common pronunciation is just sherry. It has three grape varieties, including the Palomino Fino, which is mainly used for dry types of sherry, and then the Pedro Jimenez and Moscato grapes are used for the sweeter versions of sherry. All of these grapes are white, and they belong to the Vitis vinifera species. Sherry is also fortified wine, so if you're looking for something similar in that kind of category, a good match or a good substitute would be the white vermouth. Now into history and origin. The name sherry comes from the Moorish word sherish for herith. It dates back to about 1100 BCE when winemaking was introduced to the Phoenicians. Vines were brought to the Harith region during this time. Eventually, once production started getting moving a little more, it was brought back to England by Sir Francis Drake. In fact, sherry kind of held a place of privilege within society, that kind of wine, as it was a favorite wine amongst Sir Francis Drake, I'm sorry, as well as William Shakespeare and Alexander Fleming. Eventually, once Sir Francis Drake had brought this back to England, Great Britain became a huge importer of sherry, which resulted in the demand increase. Due to that demand increase, they kind of changed their process, and that is how we have our modern day aging of sherry, which is the fortification process that it goes through today. And eventually, by the dawn of the 17th century, sherry production had peaked, and as time went on, it still did pretty well, but it did reach its golden period during the 1970s. Following that, production had declined a lot in Harith, and sherry became more of a forgotten wine, but it is slowly making a comeback. So going into the region of the sherry wine, sherry production is exclusive to Southwest Spain, within the Sherry Triangle, which is the area between Jerez de la Frontera, El Puerto de Santa Maria, Sanlúcar de Barrameda. This region does have unique climate conditions that are ideal for the cultivation of its three grape varieties. This region is extremely hot and dry during the summer, and there's no irrigation for the vines to grow, so it does require soils that can hold winter rainfall and make it available to the vine during the arid growing season. These three distinct soil types include albariza soil, which is used for the Palomino grape, which is the dominant sherry grape. And then the other two soil types are Barros and Arenas, which are great for growing the Pedro Jimenez and Moscatel grapes, which just makes it a very ideal for this wine to be produced. Now going into types of sherry, I just kind of did some research online for the different price points, and this is more of the cheaper sherry wines that you can find and the different types. So Fino is, and this was the brand that I had found online, retails for about $18, and this wine pairs well with almonds, ham, and chips, as well as olives. The Manzanilla type, and this was the brand, retails for about $30, which is a little pricier. This pairs well with fresh and raw seafood, such as sushi. And then the cream sherry, which is what I will be trying later today, This pairs well with like desserts. It's great for, you know, after dinner when you're eating your desserts. It does great with like ice cream, pudding, and cake. And this retails for about $23. Additionally, these are the more pricey types of sherry that you can find. This brand that I had found, the Oloroso, retails for about $5,500, which is crazy to me. And I think it has a lot to do with the aging process. And it makes it a lot more rare if it is aged for longer. And then the Amontillado type, and this was the brand that I had found online, retails for about $300, which obviously isn't as expensive as the 5,500, but still pretty pricey for a type of wine. The Oloroso complements rich meats and cheeses, and the Amontillado serves well with white meats such as turkey and also mushroom sauce. So that is my presentation, and now we will get into tasting the wine. This was the wine that I had bought. This is the Taylor Dry Sherry. It definitely, even though it's a dessert wine and those are sometimes sweeter, it is a very off-dry wine. Its color is like a burnt orange, I would say. It's definitely still pretty pale, a little more opaque, but it's definitely an orangier color, which I have never seen before. And now to taste it, or to smell it, I guess, first. I feel like it has a lot of like nutty, like almondy notes when you're smelling it. I also get a little bit of date and fig note when I'm smelling it. And definitely molasses. Molasses definitely comes through. Yeah, that definitely just confirmed all that I had talked about. It also has like a little hint of lemon. Its body is about medium light body, I would say, and I would say there's low to no tannin. It's definitely very high in acidity, and it stays definitely in your mouth for a long time, and you can taste, all sherry wines have a very high ABV, and this one is 18%, which is typically higher than most of the wines that I've tried before. And you can definitely feel that burning in the back of your throat. And now to try it with some things. I have a pretzel. I feel like it does pair well with that. Some of the things that I've tried so far in class, it has not paired super well with salty things in my opinion. And then for another acidic, although this wine is very acidic, I have a strawberry. Not my favorite. I think the acidity mixed with the acidity is kind of overbearing in my mouth, but still tastes pretty good. I feel like if there was like a chocolate covered strawberry, it would probably taste pretty well. I also have some chocolate frosting that I'm going to try it with, which I'm excited as this is a cream sherry, meaning that it's a dessert sherry. Yeah, you can definitely tell why. I just think there's a great balance there. And I also have read that it does occasionally pair well with cheese. I don't have a lot of cheese options at home, but I do have some mozzarella that I will try it with. And that also does pair well together. I would love to try it with sushi eventually, as well as some kind of like almond or pecan or something along those lines. But overall, it was a very great wine, and it has introduced me to something new that I will definitely want to try with more things. So thank you.